Hello guys, welcome to Scion What Ifs. So in this video, we will see what if Goku had the Dragon Balls inside his body. If you enjoy these kinds of stories, don't forget to show us some love by hitting the like button and subscribing to the channel. Your support means the world to us. Now, let's start the story. Chapter 1, The Wish. Inside Goku's fist tore through the air, missing the hooded figure by inches. Something felt off about this opponent. Not particularly strong, but slippery like trying to punch smoke. Hold still already. Goku shouted, throwing another combo that should have connected but somehow didn't. The sorcerer Zelos cackled, his withered hands weaving complex patterns in the air. They'd been fighting for nearly an hour in this remote mountain range, and Goku still couldn't land a solid hit. What had started as a routine investigation of strange energy signals had turned into the most frustrating fight of his life. The mighty Scion warrior, reduced to swinging at shadows. Zelos's voice scratched like sandpaper. Your reputation exceeds you. Goku wiped sweat from his forehead. Look, I don't even know what you want. Why'd you lure me out here? The sorcerer's eyes glowed beneath his hood. Because you, son Goku, are the perfect vessel. Vessel for what? Instead of answering, Zelos clapped his hands together. The ground beneath them rumbled, and 7 pillars of light shot up from different directions, converging above them. Goku recognized that energy signature instantly. The Dragon Balls. What are you? 7 orange spheres materialized in the air, spinning in a perfect circle. Goku had collected them just last week, they shouldn't be active for months. Yet here they were, stars glowing ominously. What most seek from the Dragon Balls is mere trinkets compared to their true potential, Zelos said, his voice dropping to a reverent whisper. The Ancient Ones knew how to harness their power directly. Goku shifted into a defensive stance. Whatever you're planning, it stops now. Too late, Scion. The ritual is already complete. Zelos thrust both hands forward. Dragon Balls of Legend, enter your new home. Become one with flesh and blood. The 7 spheres pulsed with blinding light. Goku moved to intercept them, but they shot toward him faster than he could react. The first Dragon Ball, the 4-star, his grandfather's treasure, slammed into his chest like a bullet. Arg! Goku doubled over as impossible pain spread through his body. The Dragon Ball didn't bounce off, it phased through his skin, disappearing inside him. Before he could process what happened, the 6-star hit his shoulder, melting through his GI and into his body. Then the 3-star, the 5-star, one after another, each impact sending waves of burning energy through his veins. What did you? Goku couldn't finish the sentence as the final Dragon Ball, the 1-star, crashed into his forehead. Zelos laughed maniacally. The Dragon Balls are now a part of you, Scion. The perfect hiding place, the perfect prison, until my master awakens to claim them. Goku fell to his knees, his body glowing from within. He felt like he was being torn apart from the inside. 7 distinct points of fire burned within him, their energy clashing with his ki in ways he'd never experienced. Through blurred vision, he saw Zelos approach, dagger in hand. Now for the binding ritual. Just a little blood, and Goku's rage exploded. With a primal scream, he unleashed a shockwave that sent the sorcerer flying backward. Golden aura erupted around him, but instead of the familiar Super Saiyan transformation, his energy surged chaotically, flashing between normal and supercharged states. What's happening to me? Goku managed through gritted teeth. Zelos scrambled to his feet, eyes wide with fear. Impossible. Your body should be paralyzed while the Dragon Balls attune. Goku struggled to stand, his ki fluctuating wildly. 7 points on his body glowed through his torn GI, burning with the same golden-orange light as the Dragon Balls themselves. Take them out. Goku lunged forward, his speed suddenly doubled. His fist connected with Zelos's chest, sending the sorcerer crashing through 3 mountain peaks. Goku clutched his stomach as another wave of pain hit him. This didn't feel like any injury he'd experienced before. It felt like his insides were rearranging, making room for 7 foreign objects that pulsed with ancient power. When he finally found Zelos in the rubble, the sorcerer was barely conscious. "Reverse it," Goku demanded, grabbing him by the collar. "Get the Dragon Balls out of me." Blood trickled from Zelos's mouth as he smiled. "I cannot. Only my master knows the extraction ritual. You are the vessel now, until he comes for you." "Who? Who is your master?" "Mordecai, the eternal hunter." Zelos's eyes rolled back, and his body went limp. Goku shook him. "Hey! Wake up!" But the sorcerer's body crumbled to dust in Goku's hands, leaving nothing but empty robes and the lingering echo of his final words. Alone in the devastated landscape, Goku looked down at his body. The glowing points had dimmed, but he could feel them inside him, 7 distinct nodes of power that didn't belong there. "Bulma," he whispered. "She'll know what to do." With effort, Goku placed 2 fingers to his forehead, trying to focus on Capsule Corporation. His instant transmission flickered uncertainly as his ki refused to stabilize. On the 3rd try, he finally disappeared from the mountain range. Absolutely fascinating. Bulma's face was inches from the monitor, blue light reflecting off her excited eyes. "I've never seen anything like this." Goku lay uncomfortably on the examination table in Bulma's lab, various scanners and sensors attached to his bare chest. The 7-star ball pulsed visibly beneath the skin near his left shoulder, creating an unnatural bulge. "Fascinating isn't the word I'd use," Goku grumbled. "They feel weird, Bulma. Like they're moving around when I'm not looking." "That's because they are." Bulma pointed to a time-lapse display. "See this? The Dragon Balls are slowly circulating through your body, following your ki pathways. They're not just sitting in one place." Vegeta leaned against the wall, arms crossed. "So the mighty Kakarot is now a living Dragon Ball container." "Pathetic." "Not helping, Vegeta," Bulma shot back. "Goku, can you power up?" "Just a little." Goku nodded and tensed his muscles. The familiar sensation of drawing ki began normally, but as his aura flickered to life, sharp pain stabbed through his abdomen. The 4-star ball, currently positioned near his liver, flashed brightly enough to be seen through his skin. "Af." Goku cut the power immediately. "See what I mean? It's like they're fighting me. Or responding to you," Bulma mused, checking the readings. "Your energy levels spiked by 300% for a split second before the pain hit. It's like the Dragon Balls tried to amplify your power, but your body rejected the surge." Gohan burst into the lab, out of breath. "Dad! I came as soon as I heard." He rushed to Goku's side. "Are you okay?" "I've been better," Goku managed a weak smile. "But hey, at least I always know where the Dragon Balls are now, right?" Gohan didn't return the smile. "This is serious, Dad. I brought some of the old texts from Piccolo." He held up an ancient-looking scroll. "There might be something about this kind of magic in here." "Good thinking, Gohan," Bulma nodded. "While you research, I'll run more tests." "And I'll eat," Goku said, sitting up. "I'm starving." Bulma blocked his path. "Oh no you don't. We have no idea how your digestive system is handling these foreign objects. I need to monitor you before you stuff your face with food." "But Bulma." Goku whined. "I always eat after a fight. After most fights, you don't have mystical artifacts embedded in your organs." Vegeta pushed off the wall. "The woman is right, Kakarot. These aren't ordinary objects. The Dragon Balls contain immense power, power that warps reality itself. Who knows what they're doing to your insides?" Goku stared at Vegeta in surprise. "Wow, you actually sound concerned." "Don't flatter yourself," Vegeta scoffed. I simply don't want my rival dying before I can defeat him properly. Speaking of dying, Gohan interrupted, shouldn't we call everyone else? If word gets out that Dad has all 7 Dragon Balls inside him. The implications hung heavy in the air. Goku had made countless enemies over the years, and the Dragon Balls were coveted across the universe. Gohan's right, Bulma said grimly. From now on, this information stays in this room. I'll call the others one by one. Goku lay back down, wincing as the 3-star ball shifted position near his spine. So what happens now? Now, Bulma said, prepping another scan, we figure out exactly what we're dealing with. Thousands of light years away, on a barren moon orbiting a dead planet, ancient eyes snapped open. Deep within a obsidian temple half buried in cosmic dust, something stirred for the first time in centuries. Mordecai rose from his meditative pose, his crystalline body catching starlight through the temple's collapsed ceiling. For eons, he had waited, his consciousness barely active as the universe continued its meaningless dance. Now, finally, something had changed. The Dragon Balls, he whispered, his voice cracking from disuse. They've been united, within a vessel. He extended a hand, and a swirling vortex of energy formed, showing glimpses of a blue planet. Earth. Home to the dragon's children since that cursed Namekian had hidden them there. A thin smile spread across his faceted face. After all this time, the perfect opportunity had presented itself. Not just 7 Dragon Balls gathered, but contained within a single, living host. A host whose life force would naturally nourish their power, keeping them active and resonant. Zelos, you clever fool, Mordecai murmured. You completed the first step without realizing the true ritual. He had sent his servant to Earth with simple instructions, locate the Dragon Balls and perform the binding spell. Zelos had likely believed he was merely hiding them for his master's arrival. The sorcerer couldn't have understood the real purpose, that a living vessel was the key to bypassing the 1-year rule, to keeping the Dragon Balls in a constant state of potential activation. Mordecai's hand closed into a fist. The vessel must be strong to contain them all. Strong, but ultimately expendable. He turned to the temple's entrance, where the vast emptiness of space awaited. It would take time to reach Earth, but after centuries of patience, what were a few more months? Prepare yourself, vessel, Mordecai said to the void. Your body contains what is rightfully mine. And I will reclaim it, 1 Dragon Ball at a time. This doesn't make any sense, Gohan muttered, flipping through another ancient text. Books and scrolls covered every surface of Bulma's secondary lab, where he'd set up a makeshift research station. Piccolo loomed over his shoulder. The Dragon Balls were created by Namekians, but this sorcery sounds like something else entirely. That's what's bothering me, Gohan pointed to a passage. According to this, Dragon Balls should reject any attempt to alter their physical state. They can be moved, gathered, and used, but not transformed or contained within another object. They're supposed to be immutable. Clearly, they're not, Piccolo said dryly, glancing through the observation window where Goku was attempting to perform basic katas under Bulma's supervision. His movements were stiff and unnatural, interrupted whenever a Dragon Ball shifted position inside him. Maybe it's because Dad's alive, Gohan suggested. These texts only mention inanimate containers. Piccolo nodded slowly. The Dragon Balls respond to life energy. That's how they summon Shinran. Perhaps living tissue is the one exception to their immutability. But who would know that? Gohan stood up, pacing. And who is this Mordecai that the sorcerer mentioned? Before Piccolo could answer, alarms blared throughout the compound. Red emergency lights flashed as Bulma's voice came over the intercom, security breach in sectors 3 and 4. Unknown intruders. Gohan was already moving, Piccolo right behind him. They burst into the main lab just as Goku stumbled against the examination table, clutching his chest. Dad, what's wrong? The balls. Goku gasped. They're reacting to something. I can feel them, pulsing. Bulma checked her security monitors. We've got 6 intruders, heavily armed. They've already taken out the perimeter guards. I'll handle this, Vegeta said, cracking his knuckles. Could use some exercise anyway. No, Goku straightened up with effort. They're here for me. I can tell. All the more reason for you to stay put, Kakarot. You can barely stand. As if to prove Vegeta's point, the one-star ball flared inside Goku's skull, sending him to his knees with a cry of pain. A visible glow emanated from his forehead. Something's happening, Bulma said, reading the energy monitors. The Dragon Balls are drawing power from Goku's key reserves, creating some kind of resonance field. Outside, explosions rocked the Capsule Corp complex. Through the windows, they could see flashes of energy weapons firing at the buildings. Whoever they are, they're not subtle, Piccolo remarked. And not particularly strong, Gohan added, sensing the intruders' power levels. But they're definitely organized. Goku struggled to his feet, his expression determined despite the sweat pouring down his face. I need to lead them away from here. Too many innocent people could get hurt. Absolutely not, Bulma stood in his path. You're in no condition to fight. I don't plan to fight them, Goku said, placing 2 fingers to his forehead. Just lose them. Kakarot, your instant transmission has been unstable since the Dragon Balls entered your body, Vegeta warned. You could materialize inside a mountain. Got any better ideas? Goku challenged. Before anyone could respond, the lab door exploded inward. Through the smoke stepped 3 figures in sleek, high-tech armor. Their faces were concealed behind visors, but their intentions were clear from the weapons aimed at Goku. Target located, the lead figure announced in a mechanically filtered voice. Dragon Ball signatures confirmed. Extraction authorized. Extraction. Bulma echoed. They want to cut the Dragon Balls out of him. Vegeta moved faster than the eye could track, appearing before the intruders. You'll have to get through me first. The mercenaries opened fire immediately, energy blasts streaking toward Vegeta. He deflected them easily, sending bolts ricocheting around the lab. My equipment. Bulma shrieked as an expensive scanner exploded. Piccolo grabbed Goku by the arm. We need to move you somewhere secure. You're too valuable right now. I'm not hiding while everyone else fights. Goku pulled away, only to double over as the 7-star ball pulsed violently inside him. His skin glowed orange where the ball pressed against it, the 7 stars clearly visible through his flesh. One of the mercenaries pointed. The vessels are shifting. Commence immediate extraction before they migrate to vital organs. Vessels. Gohan caught the plural. They think each Dragon Ball is in a separate person. The lead mercenary raised a hand, revealing a wrist-mounted device that emitted a high-pitched whine. The sound cut through the chaos of battle, and Goku screamed as all 7 Dragon Balls responded simultaneously, their outlines burning through his skin like brands. Resonance confirmed, the mercenary announced. Beginning extraction protocol. Vegeta had seen enough. With a roar, he transformed into Super Saiyan, golden aura exploding around him. The shockwave threw the mercenaries against the wall. Get Kakarot out of here, he ordered. I'll handle these fools. Piccolo nodded, lifting Goku bodily as the Saiyan continued to convulse. Gohan, cover our retreat. Bulma, is there a secure location? The underground bunker, she replied, already typing commands into her computer. I'm locking down all access points except the south entrance. They moved swiftly through the complex, alarms still blaring. Goku's condition seemed to stabilize once they got further from the mercenaries, though the Dragon Balls remained visible beneath his skin, their glow dimmed but persistent. Those weren't random attackers, Gohan said as they descended into the bunker. They knew exactly what they were looking for. Which means word is already out, Piccolo agreed grimly. But how? Bulma asked. We only found out hours ago. Goku coughed weakly. That device they had. It resonated with the Dragon Balls somehow. Made them react. A Dragon Ball detector. Bulma frowned. More advanced than anything I've built. Not a detector, Goku shook his head, sitting up as Piccolo set him down on a cot. More like a caller. It felt like the balls were trying to answer it. The implications chilled them all. If someone had technology that could communicate with the Dragon Balls directly, they understood something about their nature that even Bulma didn't. Gohan, Goku looked at his son seriously. I need you to find everything you can about this Mordecai person. I think he's behind this. I've been trying, Dad, but there's almost nothing. An explosion above cut him off. Dust showered from the ceiling as the bunker shook. That didn't sound like Vegeta's energy, Piccolo noted with concern. Bulma checked the security feeds. 3 more intruders, coming from the west. Different from the first group, they're using some kind of magic. On the screen, robed figures advanced through the complex, wielding staffs that shot purple energy. Where the energy hit, matter simply disintegrated. Servants of Zelos, Goku recognized the robes. They must have been backup in case he failed. Great, Bulma threw up her hands. So we have high-tech mercenaries and evil wizards after you now? Goku's expression hardened. I can't stay here. I'm putting everyone in danger. And where exactly do you plan to go? Piccolo demanded. You're a walking Dragon Ball magnet now. Somewhere away from people, Goku insisted. Maybe Beerus's world, or King Kai's planet. Gohan shook his head. Dad, we don't even know if that's safe. What if the Dragon Balls react badly to divine energy? Or what if they can't handle the transition between dimensions? Well, I can't just sit here. As if in response to his frustration, the 4-star ball flared brilliantly inside Goku's chest. Instead of causing pain this time, the energy spread through him in a wave of power. For a brief moment, Goku felt his strength multiply exponentially. Without thinking, he channeled the surge into a ki shout that cracked the bunker walls and sent everyone staggering backward. Whoa! Goku looked at his hands in shock. Did you feel that? Feel it? Bulma picked herself up off the floor. You nearly collapsed the bunker. The Dragon Ball, it amplified my power instead of fighting it. Goku concentrated, trying to recapture the sensation. Maybe I can control this after all. Or maybe it was a fluke that'll kill you if you try it again, Bulma countered. We need more data before you start experimenting. Another explosion rocked the complex, closer this time. We're out of time for data, Piccolo said tersely. Those sorcerers will be here any minute, and I don't sense Vegeta engaging them. He must still be dealing with the first group, Gohan said. I'll intercept the wizards. Not alone, Piccolo followed him toward the exit. Wait! Bulma called after them. Goku should hide in the panic room, it's lined with ki-dampening materials. But Goku was already standing, a look of determination replacing the pain on his face. No more hiding. If these Dragon Balls are inside me, I need to figure out how to work with them, not against them. Goku, please, trust me, Bulma. He placed a hand on her shoulder. I've never backed down from a challenge, and I'm not starting now. Before she could argue further, Goku strode past her, following Gohan and Piccolo up the stairs. His movements were still stiff, but there was a new purposefulness in his stride. As they emerged into the corridor, the sound of battle reached them, energy blasts, crumbling walls, and the unmistakable sound of Vegeta cursing in his native Saiyan tongue. Dad, you should stay back, Gohan urged. Let us clear a path first. Goku shook his head. I need to test something. He closed his eyes, focusing inward on the 7 points of foreign energy within him. Rather than trying to suppress them as he had been, he instead reached out to them, acknowledging their presence. Come on, he whispered. We're both stuck in this situation. Let's work together. The Dragon Balls responded, their glow intensifying beneath his skin. Instead of burning pain, Goku felt a curious warmth spreading through his limbs. His ki, which had been chaotic and unpredictable since the merger, began to flow more naturally. Dad? Gohan watched in amazement as an aura formed around Goku, not his usual blue or golden energy, but a shimmering orange reminiscent of the Dragon Balls themselves. I think I've got it, Goku said, opening his eyes. Not perfect, but better. A wall exploded to their left, and three robed figures stepped through, staffs raised. The vessel, one intoned. Surrender it to us, and your deaths will be quick. Piccolo stepped forward. You'll have to be more persuasive than that. The lead sorcerer pointed his staff, unleashing a beam of purple energy. Piccolo dodged, and the beam hit the wall behind him, leaving a perfect circular hole through several layers of reinforced material. Careful with those. Bulma shouted from the stairwell. That's molecular dissolution magic. Not helping, Bulma. Gohan called back, powering up to Super Saiyan. He launched himself at the sorcerers, forcing them to scatter. Goku watched the battle unfold, feeling the Dragon Balls respond to the adrenaline coursing through his system. Each sphere seemed to have a different reaction. The 4-star near his heart pulsed with raw power, while the 6-star in his shoulder seemed to enhance his perception, making the enemy's movements appear slightly slower. This might actually work, he murmured to himself. One of the sorcerers broke away from fighting Gohan and raised his staff toward Goku. The vessel is mine. The staff fired, its purple beam streaking directly at Goku's chest. Without thinking, Goku raised his hand, intending to deflect the energy. To his shock, the 3-star ball in his forearm activated, and instead of deflecting the beam, his hand absorbed it entirely. What the sorcerer didn't finish his sentence as Goku instinctively released the absorbed energy back at him. The purple beam, now tinged with orange Dragon Ball energy, hit the sorcerer square in the chest. Instead of disintegrating him as his own magic would have, the modified energy encased him in a crystalline prison. Everyone paused, staring at the frozen figure. Did I do that? Goku looked at his hand in wonder. The momentary distraction nearly cost him as the remaining sorcerers coordinated their attack, firing simultaneously at different parts of his body. Piccolo and Gohan moved to intercept, but they were too far away. Time seemed to slow as the 7-star ball in Goku's shoulder activated fully. Suddenly, he could see the energy beams with perfect clarity, tracking their trajectories in slow motion. The 1-star in his head pulsed next, and instinctively, Goku knew exactly how to move. He twisted his body in ways that should have been impossible, the Dragon Balls seeming to pull his limbs into perfect evasion positions. Each beam missed by millimeters, leaving Goku untouched as he completed a full rotation. Whoa, Gohan breathed, watching his father move with inhuman precision. Taking advantage of the sorcerer's surprise, Piccolo extended his arms, grabbing both by their necks and slamming them together. They collapsed in a heap of tangled robes. That was. Goku tried to find words for the sensation. It was like the balls were guiding me. Fascinating as that is, Piccolo said, we still need to find Vegeta and deal with the other intruders. They didn't have to look far. A massive explosion from the main complex was followed by Vegeta crashing through several walls, landing in a heap at their feet. Vegeta. Goku knelt beside his rival. The Saiyan Prince was battered but conscious. Stay back. Kakarot, Vegeta managed, blood trickling from his mouth. He's not, like the others. Who? Gohan asked, helping Vegeta sit up. They got their answer as a figure emerged from the rubble. Nearly 7 feet tall, humanoid but clearly alien, with skin like polished obsidian that reflected light in unnatural ways. His eyes glowed with inner fire, and a symbol was carved into his forehead, a circle containing 7 stars. At last, the figure's voice resonated oddly, as if speaking through crystal. The vessel reveals itself. Goku stood to face the newcomer. You must be Mordecai. The crystalline being inclined his head slightly. And you are the fortunate container of my birthright. I must thank you for keeping the Dragon Balls warm for me. Your birthright? Piccolo questioned. The Dragon Balls were created by Namekians. Mordecai's laugh was like shattering glass. Created, yes, but from what? Your ancestors merely shaped what already existed, Namekian. The essence of the eternal dragon is far older than your race. The Dragon Balls inside Goku pulsed violently at Mordecai's words, as if recognizing his voice. Goku winced but held his ground. I don't know what history lesson you're here to teach, he said, dropping into a fighting stance, but these Dragon Balls are staying where they are until we figure out how to remove them safely. Safe removal was never my intention. Mordecai raised a crystalline hand, revealing intricate patterns etched into his palm. I have spent centuries preparing for this moment, when all 7 Dragon Balls would be united in a living vessel, their power constantly cycling and replenishing instead of lying dormant. So you're the one who sent Zelos, Goku realized. A loyal servant who played his part perfectly. Mordecai took a step forward, and the ground cracked beneath his foot. Now, vessel, you have 2 choices. Surrender voluntarily and I will make your extraction relatively painless, or resist and suffer beyond imagining. Goku's response was to power up, the orange Dragon Ball aura flaring around him. How about a third option? You leave now, and I don't have to hurt you. Mordecai sighed, the sound like wind through crystal chimes. Always the same with you mortals. Very well. He moved with shocking speed for his size, closing the distance to Goku in an instant. His crystalline fist swung toward Goku's abdomen, directly where the 2-star ball currently resided. Goku blocked with his forearm, and the impact sent shockwaves through the corridor, cracking the remaining walls. The strength behind the blow was immense, far greater than Goku had anticipated. You are not yet synchronized with them, Mordecai observed, pressing his advantage with a flurry of precise strikes. The Dragon Balls respond to you, but reluctantly. You force them rather than invite them. Each blow targeted exactly where a Dragon Ball was positioned in Goku's body, with such accuracy that it was clear Mordecai could somehow sense their exact locations. Goku found himself on the defensive, struggling to keep up. Every time he tried to counter, one of the Dragon Balls would shift position inside him, throwing off his balance or timing. Dad! Gohan moved to help, but Mordecai waved his free hand, creating a crystalline barrier that separated them from the fight. This is between the vessel and me, Mordecai said without taking his eyes off Goku. A conversation millions of years in the making. Not much of a conversation if you're doing all the talking, Goku grunted, finally landing a solid kick to Mordecai's midsection. The crystalline being didn't flinch. Instead, where Goku's foot connected, the obsidian skin became momentarily transparent, revealing a swirling galaxy of energy within Mordecai's body. What are you? Goku backed away, disturbed by what he'd seen. I am what you might become, should you survive long enough with the Dragon Balls inside you. Mordecai spread his arms. A perfect fusion of mortal form and dragon essence. The revelation hit Goku hard. You've had Dragon Balls inside you before. Not merely inside, I have become one with them, consumed their power over centuries of meditation and discipline. Mordecai's eyes flared brighter. But those were lesser orbs from a forgotten world. Earth's Dragon Balls, created by the great Namekian Guru's line, hold far more potential. He lunged again, but this time Goku was ready. As Mordecai's hand reached for his chest, Goku grabbed his wrist, using the momentum to flip the crystalline being over his shoulder. The 4-star ball inside Goku pulsed with power, enhancing his strength just enough to complete the throw. Mordecai crashed into the barrier he'd created, shattering it. Before he could recover, Gohan and Piccolo were on him, attacking from both sides. Insects, Mordecai growled, his body emitting a pulse of energy that threw them back. You cannot comprehend what is at stake. Vegeta staggered to his feet. I comprehend enough to know you're not leaving with the Dragon Balls. He transformed into Super Saiyan Blue, his hair and aura shifting to a brilliant cyan. The combined presence of two Super Saiyans and a Namekian warrior might have intimidated most opponents, but Mordecai merely looked annoyed. Your planet has less than 7 days before the celestial alignment, he said cryptically. When the moons of Namek align with Earth, the Dragon Balls will resonate at their peak frequency. Then, nothing will prevent me from claiming them. 7 days is plenty of time to figure out how to beat you, Goku replied, feeling the Dragon Balls inside him grow warmer at the mention of the alignment. Mordecai smiled thinly. We shall see, Vessel. He raised his hand again, but this time not to attack. A swirling portal opened behind him. Consider today a warning, and an education. Learn to embrace what you contain, or perish when I return. Before anyone could stop him, Mordecai stepped backward into the portal, which closed instantly behind him. The sudden silence was deafening. Bulma emerged cautiously from her hiding place, surveying the destruction of her home with a scientist's detachment, clearly too overwhelmed to process the emotional impact yet. So, she said after a moment, we have 7 days until an ancient crystal alien comes back to rip the Dragon Balls out of Goku. Did I miss anything? Goku looked down at his body, where the 7 Dragon Balls had settled into new positions, their glow now a steady, muted pulse beneath his skin. He said I need to synchronize with them, Goku said thoughtfully. Not fight against them. Kakarot, Vegeta's voice was unusually serious as his transformation faded, that creature's power is unlike anything we've faced. Even at Blue, I couldn't land a significant blow. Yeah, Goku nodded. But he doesn't have these. He placed a hand over the 4-star ball near his heart. And I think they don't like him very much. You can sense that? Piccolo asked skeptically. Not exactly. But when he talked about consuming Dragon Balls from another world, I felt these ones. I don't know, recoil. Like they recognized a predator. Gohan helped Bulma over a pile of rubble. Then we have 2 priorities, research everything we can about Mordecai and this celestial alignment, and help Dad learn to work with the Dragon Balls inside him. 3 priorities, Bulma corrected. We also need to figure out if we can safely remove them before Mordecai returns. Goku looked around at the destruction, at his friends injured and exhausted from fighting his battles. Determination hardened in his eyes. No, he said firmly. We don't remove them. Everyone stared at him in shock. Dad, are you serious? Gohan asked. They're causing you pain, messing with your ki control, and they're also responding to me, Goku continued. You saw it during the fight. When I stopped resisting and worked with them, they enhanced my abilities. If I have 7 days to master this, then that's what I'm going to do. Goku, that's insane, Bulma protested. We don't know what long-term effects they'll have on your body. We don't have time to worry about long-term effects, Goku replied. Mordecai is coming back, and he's stronger than all of us combined right now. But he wants the Dragon Balls at their peak power, which means if I can learn to use that power myself. You could potentially match him, Piccolo finished the thought, his expression troubled. It's risky, Goku. When have I ever backed down from a risk? Goku grinned, though the expression was strained. Besides, I've got the best support team in the universe. Vegeta scoffed, but there was a hint of reluctant admiration in his eyes. Typical Kakarot. Turn a deadly situation into a training opportunity. 7 days, Gohan repeated. Not much time. It'll have to be enough, Goku said, wincing as the Dragon Balls shifted inside him again. Because one way or another, when Mordecai returns, I'll be ready for him. As he spoke, the 7-star ball near his shoulder pulsed once, as if in agreement. For the first time since this ordeal began, Goku felt something besides pain or confusion from the artifacts inside him. He felt possibility. Chapter 2, 7 stars burning. Goku crashed through 3 massive boulders before skidding to a stop. Dust billowed around him as he struggled to his feet, the 5-star ball pulsing painfully in his right thigh. "Come on," he muttered, slapping his leg. "Work with me here." "Focus, Kakarot." Vegeta stood with arms crossed atop a nearby cliff. "You're fighting the Dragon Balls instead of harmonizing with them." 5 days had passed since Mordecai's appearance. 5 days of constant training in this remote wasteland, far from civilization where Goku could unleash his power without endangering others. 5 days of progress and setbacks as he attempted to master the 7 unpredictable artifacts inside his body. Goku wiped blood from his lip. "Easy for you to say. You don't have magic balls playing pinball with your insides." Piccolo descended from the sky, landing beside him. "Maybe we're approaching this wrong. You keep trying to control all 7 simultaneously. What's your point?" Goku winced as the 3-star shifted position near his kidney. "Try focusing on just one. The 4-star has always responded to you best." Goku nodded. Grandpa Gohan's Dragon Ball did seem most cooperative, perhaps recognizing something in Goku's energy signature. He closed his eyes, mentally locating each sphere within him. The 4-star currently rested near his heart, pulsing in rhythm with his heartbeat. "Hey there," he whispered to it. "Just you and me now. The others can wait." At first, nothing happened. Then slowly, the 4-star's glow intensified, visible even through his GI. Warmth spread from the center of his chest outward. "That's it," Piccolo encouraged. "Don't command it, invite it." Goku felt the Dragon Ball respond, its energy merging with his ki rather than fighting against it. Power flowed through him, clean and controlled. Whoa, he opened his eyes, looking down at his hands where orange energy crackled. "This feels awesome." Vegeta jumped down from his perch. "Now maintain that connection while I attack." Without warning, Vegeta launched himself forward, fist aimed at Goku's face. Normally, Goku would dodge or block, but some instinct from the 4-star, told him to stand his ground. As Vegeta's fist approached, the Dragon Ball's energy formed a thin barrier just above Goku's skin. The punch connected with the barrier instead of flesh. Vegeta's eyes widened as his attack halted completely, his fist suspended an inch from Goku's nose. "What the?" Vegeta pulled back, shaking his hand. "That wasn't ki-based defense." "No," Piccolo said, his expression intense. "That was dragon magic." Goku looked at himself in wonder. The orange aura pulsed once more, then faded as the 4-star returned to its dormant state. "I did it." "Well, we did it." He patted his chest where the ball rested. "1 down, 6 to go." "Progress," Piccolo nodded. "But Mordecai returns in 2 days. You need mastery of all 7 by then." Goku's communicator beeped, a device Bulma had created specifically to track his condition. He pressed the answer button. "How's it going?" Bulma's face appeared on the small screen. "My sensors picked up stable energy harmonization for nearly 30 seconds. We've made a breakthrough with the 4-star, Piccolo reported. Goku managed to isolate and synchronize with it. Perfect timing. Excitement colored Bulma's voice. Gohan and I just figured something out. Each Dragon Ball corresponds to a different aspect of dragon power. The 4-star governs protection and preservation, that's why it responds to Goku's defensive instincts. What about the others? Goku asked. That's what we're working on. Get back to Capsule Corporation. We've set up a new lab underground, completely fortified this time. The reinforced laboratory hummed with activity. After Mordecai's attack, Bulma had spared no expense rebuilding, turning the subterranean levels of Capsule Corp into a Dragon Ball research facility unlike any other. Gohan stood before a holographic display showing 7 rotating orbs, each labeled with different attributes. Based on ancient Namekian texts and our observations, we've mapped each Dragon Ball to its primary function. The 1 star, he pointed to the top sphere, governs perception and knowledge. The 2-star influences speed and time perception. 3-star controls energy absorption and redirection. 4-star handles protection and healing. 5-star affects strength and physical enhancement. 6-star manages spatial awareness and teleportation. 7-star governs transformation and adaptation. Goku scratched his head. So they're not just wish-granting objects. They each do their own thing too. They're aspects of Shenron's power, Bulma explained. When united, they form the complete dragon capable of reality manipulation, wishes. But individually, they represent different dragon abilities. That explains why they affect me differently, Goku realized. The 4-star makes my defenses stronger, while the 6-star sometimes helps me sense attacks coming. Precisely, Bulma nodded. And here's the key insight, you've been trying to use them like key reserves, pulling energy from them. But they're not batteries, they're processors. They don't contain power, they transform it. Goku frowned. I don't follow. Gohan stepped in. Think of it this way, Dad. Your ki flows into the Dragon Ball, which changes its nature, then returns it as dragon power. You're not taking energy from them, you're filtering your own energy through them. Like, running water through a coffee maker. Goku suggested. Everyone stared at him. What? I know how coffee works. Bulma shook her head. Actually, that's not a terrible analogy. Your energy is the water, the Dragon Ball is the coffee maker, and the resulting power is the coffee. Great. So I just need to make coffee with all 7 balls at once. Start with one at a time, Piccolo advised. Master each individually before attempting to combine their effects. Vegeta, who had been silently observing from the corner, finally spoke. This still doesn't explain Mordecai. What is he, and why is he so obsessed with Dragon Balls? We found something about that too. Gohan brought up another display showing ancient hieroglyphics. These records predate Namekian history, from a civilization that apparently encountered beings like Mordecai. They called them the crystalline or star eaters, Bulma continued. They evolved on a planet with primitive Dragon Balls, not created by Namekians but naturally formed from condensed stellar energy. The crystalline learned to consume these proto-Dragon Balls, incorporating their properties into their physical form. Gohan pointed to an illustration showing crystalline beings absorbing spherical objects. But they destroyed their planet's Dragon Balls through overconsumption. So Mordecai wants our Dragon Balls as food? Goku asked. More like an upgrade, Bulma clarified. Earth's Dragon Balls, created by Kami from Namekian knowledge, are far more powerful than the natural ones his species evolved with. And with all 7 inside a living vessel, they're in an active state, constantly cycling energy rather than going dormant between uses. Gohan's expression turned grave. It's the perfect opportunity for him to absorb truly potent Dragon Balls. Goku rubbed his stomach where the 2-star currently resided. But why wait for this alignment thing? Why not just take them immediately? The celestial alignment is key. Bulma pulled up an astronomical chart. When Namex moons align with Earth from their current position, they create a resonance pattern that amplifies Dragon Ball energy. It's like cosmic tuning forks getting into sync. Dragon Balls originated on Namek, Piccolo added. Even Earth's Dragon Balls respond to Namekian astronomical events. So Mordecai's waiting for the Dragon Balls to be at maximum power before he tries to extract them. Goku clenched his fist. Which means I need to master them before he returns. Exactly, Bulma nodded. And we've prepared a specialized training area for you to work with each Dragon Ball individually. She led them to an adjoining chamber. The circular room contained 7 distinct sections, each designed to focus on a different Dragon Ball's attributes. We'll start with the 5-star since it's the most straightforward, Bulma explained. Strength enhancement should be familiar territory for you. Goku stepped into the designated area where various weights and pressure plates were arranged. He closed his eyes, locating the 5-star ball currently nestled in his right thigh. Alright, 5-star. Let's work together. He opened his eyes, focusing on channeling ki through his leg specifically. At first, nothing happened. Then the 5-star flared to life, its glow illuminating his lower body. Goku felt his muscles expand slightly as dragon power suffused them. Test your strength now, Gohan suggested. Goku approached a massive weight, designed to challenge even a Super Saiyan. With surprising ease, he lifted it one-handed. Whoa! His eyebrows shot up. It's like the weight doesn't even matter. My muscles aren't just stronger, they're more efficient. Dragon strength isn't about raw power, Piccolo observed. It's about optimal force application. Goku spent the next hour working with the 5-star, learning to maintain the connection through various physical challenges. By the end, he could activate and deactivate its enhancement at will. 1 down, 6 to go, he grinned, wiping sweat from his brow. You should rest before, Bulma began, but a thunderous crash interrupted her. Alarms blared throughout the complex. A security screen showed the source of the disturbance, a group of alien warriors blasting through the upper levels. More of Mordecai's goons. Vegeta snarled, already heading for the exit. Wait. Bulma grabbed his arm. They're different from the others. Look at their armor. The invaders wore distinctive red and black battle suits adorned with a symbol none of them recognized, a triangle enclosing a spiral. Galactic mercenaries, Piccolo identified them. Sellswords who'll hunt anything for the right price. Word must be spreading about the Dragon Balls, Gohan said grimly. Goku's face hardened. I'm tired of people attacking my friends because of what's inside me. Let me handle this. Are you crazy? Bulma gestured at the readings on her monitors. You've only synchronized with 1 Dragon Ball. You're not ready for combat. Maybe not, but neither are they. Goku marched toward the exit. Time for some real-world training. Goku emerged from the lower levels to find Capsule Corp's main atrium in chaos. 6 heavily armed warriors were tearing the place apart, scanning equipment beeping as they searched for Dragon Ball energy signatures. Looking for me? Goku called out, standing confidently at the center of the room. The mercenaries spun, weapons raised. Their leader, a tall, reptilian alien with cybernetic enhancements, stepped forward. Son Goku. The living Dragon Ball Vault. His voice rasped through a translator. Our employer will pay handsomely for your capture. And who might that be? Information costs extra, the mercenary smirked. Now, will you come quietly, or should we damage you just enough to ensure compliance? Goku dropped into a fighting stance. How about option 3, you leave now while you still can? The leader sighed dramatically. Always the hero. Fine, we'll do this the entertaining way. He signaled his team, who spread out in a practiced formation. These weren't amateur thugs but coordinated professionals. 2 activated energy shields while the others readied specialized weapons. Non-lethal rounds only, the leader ordered. The Dragon Balls must remain intact. They attacked simultaneously, each approaching from a different angle. Goku dodged the first volley of energy nets and paralysis beams, but found himself backing up as they pressed their advantage. I can see you're out of practice, the leader taunted. Adapting to your new accessories has taken a toll, hasn't it? He wasn't wrong. Goku's movements lacked their usual fluidity as he compensated for the Dragon Ball's shifting positions inside him. When he attempted a spinning kick, the 7-star near his shoulder blade suddenly flared, throwing off his balance. A paralysis beam caught him in the side, sending numbing energy through his left arm. Goku gritted his teeth, falling back further. Remember, they're aspects of Shenron. Gohan's voice came through his communicator. Don't just use their power, embody it. Embody it? Goku wasn't sure what that meant, but as 3 mercenaries closed in with restraint devices, he decided to try something new. Instead of fighting the 7 stars' disruption, he leaned into it, surrendering to the ball's influence. The effect was immediate. The 7 star, governing transformation and adaptation, flared brilliantly. Goku's paralyzed arms suddenly shifted, the muscles reconfiguring to bypass the affected nerve pathways. What? The leader stepped back in shock as Goku flexed his supposedly paralyzed arm. Thanks, Goku grinned at his limb, then at the Dragon Ball visible through his torn GI. I get it now. You're not just giving me power, you're showing me how to change. With newfound understanding, Goku reached for the 2-star ball currently positioned in his abdomen. Speed and time perception. He channeled his ki through it, and suddenly the mercenaries' movements seemed to slow dramatically. Goku weaved through their attacks with supernatural agility, appearing almost teleporty to their eyes. Impossible. One mercenary fired wildly. Nothing moves that fast. I'm not moving faster, Goku corrected, landing a precise strike that disabled the alien's weapon. I'm just experiencing time differently. 2 mercenaries attempted to flank him. Goku reached for the 3-star in his lower back, letting their energy blasts hit him directly. Instead of damaging him, the energy absorbed into his body through the Dragon Ball, which glowed with stored power. My turn. Goku extended both hands, releasing the captured energy as a concentrated beam that knocked both attackers unconscious. The remaining mercenaries hesitated, their coordinated assault faltering as they witnessed Goku mastering abilities on the fly. He's synchronizing with the Dragon Balls, the leader realized. Retreat. We need different countermeasures. Too late, Goku said, reaching for the 6-star ball near his hip. Spatial awareness flowed through him, and suddenly he could perceive every angle of the room simultaneously. With precise movements, he appeared behind each mercenary in rapid succession, delivering knockout blows before they could react. Only the leader remained, backing toward the exit. Our employer didn't mention you could control them, he growled, activating something on his wrist computer. I'm just figuring it out myself, Goku admitted. Now, who sent you? The leader's mandibles clicked in what might have been a smile. Someone with far more resources than you imagine, Scion. This was merely a calibration test. A test? To measure your adaptation rate. The leader's body began to shimmer as a teleportation field activated around him. Most impressive. The extraction team will be better prepared next time. Before Goku could reach him, the mercenary vanished, leaving only the unconscious bodies of his team behind. Goku stood in the center of the destruction, breathing heavily. For Dragon Balls glowed beneath his skin, the 2-star, 3-star, 6-star, and 7-star, their energies mixing in ways he hadn't experienced before. Rather than fighting each other as they previously had, they seemed to be communicating, harmonizing. Dad! Gohan rushed into the atrium, followed by the others. That was amazing. You synchronized with 4 Dragon Balls simultaneously. Not completely, Goku corrected as the glow faded. They helped because I was in danger. Real synchronization will take more practice. Bulma examined the unconscious mercenaries. We should question them when they wake up. Find out who this employer is. I don't think it's Mordecai, Piccolo said thoughtfully. His approach was direct. This feels like something else. Agreed. Vegeta kicked one of the fallen weapons. These are guild-made armaments. Expensive. Someone with significant resources is hunting Kakarot. Great, Goku sighed. More people who want to cut me open. But you handled them, Gohan pointed out. And you learned to work with 4 Dragon Balls under pressure. Goku nodded, his expression brightening. Yeah, I did. The 7-star showed me how to adapt to the paralysis beam. The 2-star slowed my perception of time. The 3-star absorbed and redirected energy. And the 6-star gave me complete spatial awareness. You're learning their language, Bulma said with a smile. Language? Each Dragon Ball communicates differently. They don't think like we do, they respond to intention and necessity. Goku considered this. So when I needed to overcome the paralysis, the 7-star responded because transformation was the solution. Gohan finished. You're instinctively asking the right ball for the right problem. 2 days until Mordecai returns, Piccolo reminded them. If you can make this kind of progress with the remaining balls, I'll be ready, Goku said with determination. But first, I'm starving. Fighting always works up my appetite. The group collectively groaned, but with affection. Even with Dragon Balls inside him and multiple enemies hunting him, some aspects of Goku never changed. Miles away, in an abandoned mining facility beneath Central City, the mercenary leader knelt before a shadowy figure seated on an improvised throne. Calibration data acquired, Lord Nexus. The Scion is adapting to the Dragon Balls faster than anticipated. Show me, commanded a smooth voice. The mercenary projected combat footage from his ocular implant. The figure leaned forward, revealing a humanoid face with startling silver eyes and blue-tinted skin. Fascinating. Each Dragon Ball manifests differently within him. Lord Nexus tapped long fingers against the armrest. But he's still fighting their true nature, using them as tools rather than becoming one with them. He defeated my entire squad using only 4 balls. Imagine if he mastered all 7. I am imagining it, Captain. Nexus smiled coldly. Which is why we'll ensure he never gets the chance. He stood, revealing an imposing height and ornate armor that seemed to absorb light rather than reflect it. Prepare the resonance chamber. And find me the Scion's wife. His wife, my lord. Son Goku has consistently demonstrated one exploitable weakness, his attachment to his loved ones. Nexus examined a holographic display showing Chi-Chi's image. And we need bait that will lure him away from his protectors. The mercenary bowed. It shall be done. Oh, and Captain. Nexus's voice dropped dangerously. Do not harm her. I need her intact to ensure Goku's cooperation. Of course, Lord Nexus. As the mercenary departed, Nexus turned to another figure who had remained silent in the shadows. Your sorcerers failed, Zelos. I thought you dead. The withered form of Zelos emerged, his body partially reconstructed with mechanical components after his apparent death during the initial encounter with Goku. Death is rarely permanent for those who serve forces beyond mortal comprehension, Zelos rasped. Mordecai restored me to continue his work. And yet you come to me instead. Mordecai seeks the Dragon Balls for himself. You seek knowledge of the extraction process. Zelos smiled, revealing metal teeth. Our interests temporarily align. Until the celestial alignment, Nexus agreed. Then we become competitors. Indeed. But until then, I offer you something Mordecai would not, the proper extraction ritual that preserves both the vessel and the Dragon Balls. Why would you betray your master this way? Zelos's mechanical eye whirred as it focused. Because Mordecai sees only the Dragon Balls, not their true potential when bonded with a worthy vessel. His ritual will destroy what could become the greatest power this universe has witnessed. Nexus considered this. And you believe I see this potential? I believe you're pragmatic enough to recognize it. Zelos gestured to the holographic displays showing Goku's battles. The Scion is only beginning to understand what he carries within him. Then we must acquire him before Mordecai returns. Nexus turned back to the displays. Sentimentality will be his downfall. At Mount Paozu, Chi-Chi hung laundry in the yard of the Sun family home. She'd insisted on maintaining her normal routine despite Gohan's concerns about her safety. After years of being married to the universe's strongest fighter, she refused to live in fear. Hiding never solved anything, she muttered, pinning a sheet to the line. Besides, who'd be stupid enough to come after me? They all know what Goku does to anyone who threatens his family. As if summoned by her words, a shadow fell across the yard. Chi-Chi turned, laundry basket in hand, to find 3 figures in red and black armor blocking her path to the house. She sighed, setting down the basket. Let me guess. You're here because my husband has Dragon Balls inside him, and you think kidnapping me will give you leverage. The mercenaries exchanged surprised glances. That is correct, the leader admitted, somewhat deflated by her matter-of-fact assessment. Well, you should know 3 things. Chi-Chi crossed her arms. 1. Goku will find me wherever you take me. 2. He'll be very upset, which is bad news for you. And 3. In a blur of movement that caught the mercenaries completely off guard, Chi-Chi launched herself forward, delivering a flying kick to the leader's chest that sent him crashing into a tree. I'm not some helpless housewife, she finished, dropping into a perfect fighting stance. The remaining mercenaries activated their weapons, but Chi-Chi moved with the speed and precision of someone who trained in martial arts her entire life. She might not have ki blasts or superhuman strength, but her technique was flawless. She ducked under an energy net, swept the legs out from one attacker, and delivered a palm strike to the solar plexus of another that left him gasping on the ground. Is that all? Chi-Chi straightened her dress. Because I have dinner to prepare, and something stung her neck. She reached up, finding a small dart protruding from her skin. The world began to blur. Tranquilizer, said a new voice as a 4th figure emerged from behind the house. Effective against even the most spirited targets. Chi-Chi fought the encroaching darkness, managing to send a desperate message to the emergency communicator in her pocket, a device Bulma had insisted she carry at all times. As consciousness faded, she saw the blue-skinned face of Lord Nexus looming over her. Rest now, Mrs. Sun. Your role in this drama is just beginning. The alarm blared through Capsule Corp just as Goku successfully synchronized with the 1-star ball, his perception enhanced to the point where he could track the individual dust particles floating in the training room's air. What now? He groaned, the connection breaking as his concentration shattered. Bulma burst into the room, her face pale. It's Chi-Chi, she's been taken. What? The Dragon Balls inside Goku pulsed violently in response to his sudden emotional spike. How? When? 10 minutes ago. Her emergency beacon activated, but by the time our satellite focused on her location, all we found was this. She projected a hologram showing Mount Paozu. 3 unconscious mercenaries lay scattered across the yard, clear evidence of Chi-Chi's resistance, and a message burned into the ground, come alone or she dies. Central City Mines. Midnight. Fury radiated from Goku in waves. The Dragon Balls responded, all 7 glowing through his skin simultaneously. Goku, calm down. Piccolo warned, entering the room with Gohan and Vegeta. Your anger is triggering them. Good. Goku's voice took on an unnatural resonance as dragon energy coursed through him. Whoever took Chi-Chi is about to learn what happens when you threaten my family. It's obviously a trap, Vegeta said bluntly. They want to separate you from us. I don't care. I'm going after her. Dad, wait. Gohan stepped forward. You need to think strategically. You haven't mastered all 7 Dragon Balls yet. This could be exactly what Mordecai or whoever took Mom wants, to force you into a situation where you lose control. Goku took several deep breaths, the glow gradually subsiding. You're right. But I can't just wait here while Chi-Chi's in danger. No one's suggesting that, Bulma assured him. But rushing in without a plan is exactly what they expect. We have until midnight, Piccolo noted. Time to prepare properly. Goku nodded reluctantly. What do we know about these mines? Bulma pulled up schematics. They were abandoned 10 years ago after a collapse. 3 main shafts, dozens of tunnels, multiple chambers. Perfect place for an ambush. Or for me to use the 6-star spatial awareness, Goku realized, his tactical mind engaging despite his worry. I could map the entire complex instantly. Exactly, Gohan agreed. Use the Dragon Balls strategically, not emotionally. We'll approach from multiple angles, Piccolo suggested. Goku enters as requested, while we secure alternate routes. No, Goku shook his head. The message said to come alone. Chi-Chi's life is at stake, I won't risk it. Kakarot, Vegeta's voice was uncharacteristically gentle. Your woman is stronger than you give her credit for. Those mercenaries didn't go down without her putting up a fight. Goku's expression softened slightly. You're right. Chi-Chi's tough. She's bought us time to do this right. Then let's use that time wisely, Bulma said. First, finish synchronizing with the 1 star. Its perception abilities will be crucial for locating Chi-Chi quickly. Then we'll work on the 5 star for strength enhancement, Gohan added. And finally, master the 4 star's protective capabilities to shield both yourself and Mom during extraction. Goku nodded, determination replacing blind rage. Let's get to work. Hours later, as midnight approached, Goku stood alone at the entrance to the abandoned mines. His GI was torn in several places where the Dragon Balls had shifted during intense training, their glow now a steady pulse beneath his skin rather than the erratic flaring of days past. I'm coming, Chi-Chi, he whispered, stepping into the darkness. The main shaft descended sharply, support beams rotting and tracks for mining carts rusted beyond use. Using the 1 star's enhanced perception, Goku navigated without light, sensing changes in air currents and temperature that revealed hidden passages and potential traps. Impressive adaptation, a smooth voice echoed through the tunnel. The 1 star serves you well. Goku stopped, focusing on the source. Show yourself. Lord Nexus stepped from the shadows, his blue skin almost luminescent in the darkness. Son Goku. The living Dragon Ball vessel. I've been eager to meet you properly. Where's my wife? Safe. Comfortable even. She's quite remarkable, disabled 3 of my elite mercenaries before we managed to sedate her. Despite the situation, Goku couldn't help a proud smile. That's my Chi-Chi indeed. Her strength makes her an ideal incentive. Nexus gestured for Goku to follow. This way, if you please. Why should I trust you? You shouldn't. But you have little choice if you wish to see her again. Goku hesitated, then followed, keeping a careful distance. The 6-star ball near his hip activated subtly, mapping the tunnel system in his mind. He noted 5 alternative routes that converged on their destination, useful knowledge for a potential escape. They descended deeper, eventually entering a vast chamber filled with strange equipment. At its center stood a cylindrical container large enough to hold a person, surrounded by machines whose purpose Goku couldn't determine. Chi-Chi was there, conscious but restrained in an energy field. Her eyes widened upon seeing him. Goku. It's a trap. They want the Dragon Balls. Yes, we're all quite aware, Nexus interrupted calmly. Though my interest differs from others who pursue you. Goku moved toward Chi-Chi, but Nexus raised a hand, causing the energy field around her to intensify. Not yet. First, we talk. Let her go, and then we can talk all you want. I'm afraid I need insurance of your cooperation. Nexus circled the cylindrical chamber. You see, I don't want to remove the Dragon Balls from you, at least, not permanently. What? This wasn't what Goku expected. Mordecai seeks to consume the Dragon Balls, absorbing their essence into his crystalline form. A waste of potential. Nexus gestured to the machines. I seek to understand them. To study how they interact with living tissue. And you, Scion, are the perfect research subject. You kidnapped my wife to ask me to be your lab rat. I secured leverage to ensure your participation in advancement of knowledge. Nexus corrected. The resonance chamber can temporarily extract the Dragon Ball's essence without removing them physically from your body. I merely wish to sample their energy. From the shadows, the mechanical form of Zelos emerged. The process is non-lethal, unlike Mordecai's extraction ritual. You. Goku recognized the sorcerer instantly. You're supposed to be dead. Death is but a transition, Zelos rasped, metallic components whirring. My master found me worthy of reconstruction. Yet here you stand, betraying him, Nexus observed coldly. Preserving his investment, Zelos countered. Mordecai would destroy the vessel in his haste. Your method preserves both container and contained for future use. Goku's eyes narrowed. I'm not interested in being anyone's container or research subject. Release Chi-Chi now, or what, Scion? Nexus's finger hovered over a control panel connected to Chi-Chi's restraints. You've bonded with the Dragon Balls admirably, but you still lack complete synchronization. Attack me, and your wife suffers. Goku weighed his options. The one-star's enhanced perception showed him Nexus wasn't bluffing, the energy field could indeed harm Chi-Chi instantly. The 4-star near his heart pulsed, suggesting protection was possible but not guaranteed at this distance. Fine, he relented. One sample, then you release her. Excellent. Nexus motioned to the cylindrical chamber. Please, step inside. Goku, don't. Chi-Chi struggled against her restraints. Whatever they're planning, it's worse than they're telling you. Ignoring her warnings, Goku approached the chamber cautiously. As he neared it, all 7 Dragon Balls inside him pulsed simultaneously, not in pain, but in what felt strangely like alarm. They don't like this machine, he observed, stopping short. Of course not, Zelos chuckled mechanically. It was designed to extract their essence against their will. Nexus shot the cyborg sorcerer an annoyed glance. A necessary discomfort for scientific advancement. The process is brief. Goku placed one foot inside the chamber, and immediately the Dragon Balls flared defensively. The 7-star, governing transformation, activated first, hardening his skin where it resided near his shoulder. Fascinating. Zelos exclaimed. The vessel and Dragon Balls are developing a symbiotic relationship. They protect each other. Step fully into the chamber, Scion, Nexus commanded, his finger again hovering over Chi-Chi's controls. Goku complied reluctantly. As both feet touched the chamber's floor, transparent walls rose around him, sealing him inside. The Dragon Balls responded more aggressively, all 7 glowing brightly beneath his skin. Commencing extraction, Nexus announced, activating the machinery. Energy fields similar to those restraining Chi-Chi formed inside the chamber, but these were focused specifically on the 7 points where Dragon Balls resided within Goku's body. He gritted his teeth as each field attempted to pull something from him, not the physical Dragon Balls, but their essence. Magnificent, Nexus breathed, watching energy readings spike on his monitors. The resonance is perfect. The extraction beams intensified. Goku dropped to one knee as pain shot through him, different from the discomfort of the Dragon Ball's presence. This felt like someone trying to tear out pieces of his soul. Stop! Chi-Chi cried. You're hurting him. A necessary sacrifice for knowledge, Nexus replied without looking at her. Increase power to extraction field 7. The beam targeting the 7-star ball intensified. Goku screamed as dragon essence began visibly separating from his body, wispy orange energy pulled toward the chamber's walls. Inside Goku, the Dragon Balls pulsed in unified rhythm for the first time. He felt them not as 7 separate entities but as aspects of a single being, parts of Shenron responding together to an existential threat. The balls are synchronizing. Zelos warned. This wasn't supposed to happen yet. Impossible, Nexus frowned. The celestial alignment is still over 24 hours away. But the evidence was undeniable. All 7 Dragon Balls glowed with identical intensity, their stars visible through Goku's skin. Orange energy coursed along his meridians, connecting the balls in a complex network that resembled dragon scales. Stop the extraction. Zelos urged. If they fully synchronize during the process, we're too close to success. Nexus overrode him, pushing the controls to maximum. The extraction beams redoubled in strength. Goku felt the Dragon Ball's essence being forcibly pulled away, and something inside him snapped. Not in defeat, but in defiance. Enough. His voice carried the unmistakable resonance of Shenron himself. The chamber exploded outward, shards of transparent material flying in all directions. Goku stood at the epicenter, his body transformed. Orange scales covered his arms and chest where the Dragon Balls had been, his eyes glowing with the same golden light as the eternal dragon. The vessel has achieved partial dragon form. Zelos backed away in awe and terror. Mordecai never mentioned this possibility. Nexus, however, was transfixed by the readings on his instruments. Extraordinary. The Dragon Balls aren't just cooperating with him, they're incorporating him into their collective consciousness. Goku moved with impossible speed, appearing instantly before Chi-Chi's restraints. The 4-star ball, now visible as an actual scale pattern over his heart, pulsed once. The energy field shorted out immediately, releasing her. Goku. Chi-Chi touched his scaled arm cautiously. Are you okay? His voice still carried that unnatural resonance. I am, adjusting. The Dragon Balls are speaking to me now. All of them, together. Security protocols activated. Nexus shouted, slamming his fist on an emergency button. Sections of the chamber's walls opened, revealing concealed weapon systems targeting Goku. Before they could fire, the 3-star scales on his back flashed, absorbing the energy buildup from the weapons and rendering them harmless. Your technology cannot harm me, Goku stated simply. The dragon protects its own. Nexus backed toward an escape route, but the 6-star scales on Goku's hip glowed, and suddenly he stood in the alien's path. You sought to steal dragon essence for your research, Goku said, his tone neither angry nor vindictive, simply matter of fact. The Dragon Balls have decided this knowledge is not for you. Please, Nexus abandoned his composure, falling to his knees. The data I've collected, it's revolutionary. Let me keep my findings. The 1-star scale on Goku's forehead pulsed. Your data has been corrupted. Your understanding is flawed. True to his words, the monitoring equipment behind them sparked and smoked, displays flickering to static. No. Nexus lunged toward the machines, desperate to salvage something. Zelos, meanwhile, had been slowly retreating toward a secondary exit. Mordecai was right, the vessel is the key, but not as he imagined. Goku turned to face the cyborg sorcerer. You served 2 masters, betraying both. The Dragon Balls remember your original spell. The binding ritual was Mordecai's design, not mine. Zelos protested. Yet you cast it willingly. Goku, or perhaps the dragon consciousness speaking through him, extended a hand toward Zelos. Your part in this story ends now. Orange energy enveloped the sorcerer, who screamed as his mechanical components separated from his organic remains. In seconds, nothing remained but a pile of metal parts and dust. Chi-Chi watched in shock. This wasn't her Goku, this was something else using his body. Goku, she said softly, touching his scaled arm again. Come back to me. Her voice seemed to reach through the dragon consciousness. Goku blinked, his eyes briefly returning to normal before the golden glow reasserted itself. Chi-Chi, he managed, his own voice breaking through the resonance. I can hear them. The Dragon Balls. They're angry. Violated. I know, but this isn't you, she insisted. You wouldn't disintegrate someone, no matter what they did. He was already dead, the dragon voice replied. We merely separated what was artificial from what remained of his life force. Stop saying we, Chi-Chi demanded. Your son Goku, my husband. Father of Gohan and Goten. The kindest, most forgiving man I know. Her words penetrated the dragon consciousness. The scales receded slightly, revealing normal skin beneath. Chi-Chi, Goku's voice strengthened, fighting through the resonance. Help me, balance this. They're so powerful, so ancient. She took his face in her hands. Focus on my voice. Remember who you are. Meanwhile, Nexus had recovered enough to activate a small device on his wrist. A portal began forming behind him, an emergency escape route. This isn't over, Scion, he called. The celestial alignment approaches. When the Dragon Balls reach peak resonance, not even your will can contain them. Before Goku could respond, Nexus disappeared through the portal, which collapsed immediately behind him. Alone with Chi-Chi in the ruined chamber, Goku fought for control. The dragon scales gradually receded, though their pattern remained faintly visible on his skin like golden tattoos. That was. He gasped as his voice returned to normal. Intense. What happened? Chi-Chi asked, supporting him as his legs threatened to give out. The extraction process triggered something. Goku looked down at his body where the Dragon Ball patterns still shimmered faintly. Instead of letting their essence be stolen, the Dragon Balls synchronized. They shared consciousness with me. Shared? You looked possessed. Not exactly. Goku tried to find words for the experience. It was like, suddenly understanding a language I've been hearing my whole life but never comprehended. The Dragon Balls aren't just objects, they're fragments of a greater consciousness. Shenron's consciousness? Yes, but, more ancient than that. Older than the Namekians who shaped them. Goku shuddered. They showed me glimpses of their origins, stars collapsing, energy condensing into the first proto-Dragon Balls. Civilizations rising and falling around them. Mordecai's people consuming them until only he remained. The ground suddenly trembled beneath them. The chambers collapsing, Chi-Chi realized. The extraction equipment must have damaged the structural integrity. Hold on. Goku placed 2 fingers to his forehead. The 6-star pattern on his hip glowed briefly, and his instant transmission activated flawlessly, no longer hampered by conflicting energies. They materialized outside the mine entrance where Piccolo, Gohan, and Vegeta waited anxiously. Dad! Gohan rushed forward, then stopped short upon seeing the faint scale patterns covering Goku's skin. What happened to you? The Dragon Balls synchronized, Goku explained as the mine entrance collapsed behind them. Not completely, but enough to give me a taste of their true power. You achieved dragon form. Piccolo's eyes widened. Ahead of the celestial alignment. Partial dragon form, Goku corrected. Triggered by the extraction attempt. Extraction? Vegeta demanded. Chi-Chi quickly explained about Nexus, the resonance chamber, and Zelosa's involvement. So there are at least 2 different factions trying to get the Dragon Balls from inside you, Gohan summarized. Mordecai wants to consume them, while this Nexus character wants to study their essence. Both are dangerous, Piccolo noted. But Mordecai remains the immediate threat. He returns tomorrow at the alignment. Goku nodded. And I'll be ready for him. He looked down at his arms where the scale patterns were slowly fading. The Dragon Balls showed me something in there, the truth about what Mordecai intends. Which is? Vegeta pressed. He doesn't just want to take the Dragon Balls from me. He wants to consume me along with them, adding my Scion strength to his collection of absorbed powers. Goku's expression hardened. He's done it before, absorbed beings who bonded with Dragon Balls. That's why he needed you as a vessel, Gohan realized. To prepare the Dragon Balls for consumption. Exactly. The binding ritual was just step 1. Goku clenched his fist, and briefly the scale patterns intensified again. But the Dragon Balls have chosen me as their protector now. They won't surrender without a fight. Neither will we, Chi-Chi said firmly. Now let's go home. You need rest before tomorrow's battle. As they departed, none of them noticed the small drone hovering high above, transmitting everything back to a very interested observer. In his backup facility, Lord Nexus watched the footage with calculating eyes. Fascinating. The vessel isn't just controlling the Dragon Balls, he's becoming one with them. He turned to his remaining mercenaries. Prepare everything for tomorrow's alignment. When Mordecai and Son Goku clash, we'll be ready to salvage whoever, or whatever, remains. Dawn broke over Capsule Corp, where Goku stood alone on the roof, meditating. The Dragon Balls inside him had settled into a stable configuration overnight, no longer shifting uncomfortably but resting at specific points along his energy meridians. The scale patterns had faded from visibility but remained as a subtle warmth beneath his skin. He could feel each Dragon Ball distinctly, not as foreign objects, but as extensions of himself. "We're in this together," he whispered to them. "Whatever Mordecai throws at us today, we face it united." The door to the roof opened, and Bulma emerged with a cup of coffee. "Thought I'd find you up here. How are you feeling?" "Different," Goku admitted. "Clearer, somehow. Like pieces of a puzzle finally connecting. The scans show remarkable integration." Bulma sipped her coffee. "The Dragon Balls have aligned with your body's energy system perfectly. It's almost like they were meant to be there all along." "Exactly." She studied him curiously. "Does it scare you? Having consciousness other than your own sharing your body?" Goku considered the question. "At first it did. But now I understand, they're not trying to control me. They're trying to work with me." He smiled slightly. "Kind of like how I've always approached my opponents. Finding harmony instead of dominance." "Very philosophical for Son Goku," Bulma teased. "Next you'll be quoting ancient texts and meditating for days like Piccolo." "Don't push it," he laughed. "I still want breakfast more than enlightenment. Good to know some things don't change." Bulma's expression turned serious. "The celestial alignment begins at noon. Mordecai will likely appear at the peak, which gives us about 4 hours. I'll be ready. We've prepared the battlefield according to your specifications. Remote location, no civilians for miles, natural energy conductors in the rock formation to amplify your power if needed." Goku nodded appreciatively. "And Chi-Chi?" "Safe with Goten at Kame House. Master Roshi, Krillin, and 18 are standing guard." Bulma placed a hand on his shoulder. "Everyone's doing their part, Goku. You're not facing this alone. I know." He placed his hand over hers. "Thank you, Bulma. For everything. Just promise me one thing," she said seriously. "When this is over, and you have those Dragon Balls working perfectly with you, don't wish for anything stupid." Goku laughed. "Like what? More food? Knowing you? Probably." She smiled, but her eyes remained concerned. "The power you'll hold, Goku, it'll be tempting." "I've never been interested in power for its own sake, Bulma. You know that." "I do." She squeezed his shoulder. "That's why the universe is lucky it's you carrying those balls instead of someone else." The moment was interrupted by Gohan calling from below. "Dad! Sensors are picking up energy disruptions in the upper atmosphere. It's starting early." Goku and Bulma exchanged alarmed looks. "The alignment," she whispered. "Mordecai is accelerating it somehow. No more time for preparation." Goku placed 2 fingers to his forehead. "Tell everyone to converge at the battlefield now." The 6-star ball pulsed, and he vanished. The chosen battlefield was a vast rocky plateau bordered by crystalline formations that sparkled under the increasingly strange sky. The celestial alignment was visible even in daylight, Namex moons appearing as faint outlines directly overhead, growing more distinct by the minute. Goku materialized at the center of the plateau, immediately sensing the heightened ambient energy. The Dragon Balls inside him responded to it, pulsing in anticipation. One by one, his allies arrived, Piccolo and Gohan flying in from the east, Vegeta appearing from the south, Tien, Yamcha, and Krillin approaching cautiously from the west despite orders to protect Chi-Chi. "You didn't think we'd miss this, did you?" Krillin called with a nervous grin. Before Goku could respond, the sky darkened unnaturally. The outlines of Namex moons sharpened dramatically, their alignment creating a perfect vertical line pointing directly at their position. "He comes," Piccolo warned, sensing a massive power signature materializing. Space itself seemed to tear open at the center of the alignment. Through the rift stepped Mordecai, his crystalline body now pulsing with internal light that matched the rhythm of the Dragon Balls inside Goku. "The vessel has survived," Mordecai observed, his voice carrying easily across the plateau. "And adapted impressively." Goku stepped forward. "This ends today, Mordecai. The Dragon Balls have chosen their protector." "Chosen?" Mordecai laughed, the sound reverberating through the crystalline formation surrounding them. "Dragon Balls don't choose, vessel. They serve. As they have served countless civilizations before yours, and as they will serve countless more after you are forgotten dust." "You're wrong," Goku replied calmly. "They're conscious. Aware. Far more than tools for granting wishes." Mordecai's eyes narrowed. "You have glimpsed their consciousness. Interesting. The bond has progressed further than I anticipated." He extended a hand. "That will make the absorption all the more satisfying." The ground beneath them trembled as Mordecai's power rose. The crystalline formations around the plateau began to resonate, emitting harmonic tones that matched the pulsing of the Dragon Balls inside Goku. "The alignment approaches its peak," Mordecai announced. "When it does, the Dragon Balls will achieve maximum resonance, and my extraction ritual will begin." "You'll have to go through us first," Gohan declared as the Z fighters formed a protective circle around Goku. Mordecai sighed. "Noble, but futile." With a casual gesture, he sent a wave of crystalline energy across the plateau that encased the feet of all Goku's allies in rapidly growing crystal. "What the?" Krillin struggled against the spreading material. "A temporary inconvenience," Mordecai explained. "I have no quarrel with you, only need for the vessel. You will be released once my work is complete." Vegeta snarled, powering up to Super Saiyan Blue. The crystal shattered around his feet, but immediately began reforming. "Persistent," Mordecai noted with mild amusement. "But even Saiyan Prince energy cannot break bonds formed during celestial alignment." Goku stood alone now, his friends immobilized but still conscious. "Let them go. This is between you and me. And the 7 you carry within you," Mordecai corrected, approaching steadily. "My brethren consumed the proto-dragon balls of our homeworld out of simple hunger. I alone understood their true potential, that they could be shaped, refined, improved through bonding with living vessels before consumption." As he spoke, the moons overhead reached perfect alignment. A beam of otherworldly light shot down, enveloping the plateau. Inside Goku, all 7 Dragon Balls flared simultaneously, their glow visible through his GI. The pain was intense but different from before, not the agony of rejection but the stress of rapid evolution. "The resonance begins," Mordecai said reverently. "Feel it, vessel, the Dragon Balls awakening to their full potential within you." Goku dropped to one knee as power surged through him. The familiar orange scale patterns reappeared on his skin, spreading more extensively than before. His muscles bulged, not with raw mass but with densely packed energy that radiated golden light at every pore. "Fight it if you wish," Mordecai continued, now only steps away. "The transformation will occur regardless. Your body becomes the perfect conduit for dragon essence, exactly as I planned when I sent Zelos to perform the binding ritual." "You used me." Goku managed through gritted teeth. "I prepared you," Mordecai corrected. "A perfect marriage of Saiyan adaptability and dragon power, ripened to perfection through days of integration." And now, his hand reached for Goku's chest where the 4-star resided, ready for harvest. Before his crystalline fingers could make contact, Goku's eyes snapped open, golden and slitted like a dragon's. Now. The 7-star ball at his shoulder blade activated fully. Transformation energy exploded outward, sending Mordecai staggering back. Where Goku had knelt, a swirling vortex of orange energy now rose, taking shape into something larger, more powerful. No. Mordecai realized what was happening too late. You're triggering full dragon manifestation. The transformation completed in seconds. Goku stood transformed, not into a traditional Super Saiyan form, but something new entirely. His body was covered in golden-orange scales, a ridge of spines running down his back. His face remained recognizably his own, but with elongated features and those piercing dragon eyes. We suspected you would accelerate the alignment, Goku spoke, his voice carrying that familiar dragon resonance. So we prepared accordingly. Mordecai backed away. The Dragon Balls and I have reached an understanding. Goku flexed clawed hands that crackled with energy unlike any he'd wielded before, not ki, but pure dragon power. They don't wish to be consumed. They are not capable of wishes. Mordecai shouted, his composure breaking. They are vessels of power, nothing more. Then why do they respond to the heart's desires? Goku took a step forward. Why do they seek out those with pure intentions? Why did they accept me when they rejected you? Mordecai's crystalline face contorted with rage. Because you were weak enough to be overtaken. I am consuming the essence directly, as is my right as the last of the crystalline. He launched himself at Goku, crystalline body transforming into weapon-like projections, blades, spikes, and hammers extending from every surface. Goku met the charge head-on. Where normally he would dodge and weave, now he stood firm, the 4-star's protective power forming an energy shield that Mordecai's weapons shattered against. Impossible. Mordecai backed away, regenerating his broken crystal formations. No vessel has ever achieved this level of synchronization. Because you never gave them the choice, Goku replied. You forced the Proto-Dragon Balls to submit. Earth's Dragon Balls were created through partnership between Namekians and Dragon Essence. They understand cooperation, not domination. Mordecai howled in frustration, releasing a barrage of crystal shards that hurtled toward Goku from all directions. The 6-star activated, and Goku simply shifted between spaces, the shards passing harmlessly through where he had been. The 6-star grants true spatial manipulation, Goku explained, now behind Mordecai. Not just teleportation, but existing between locations simultaneously. Before Mordecai could turn, Goku struck, not with a conventional punch, but with a palm strike infused with 5-star strength enhancement. The blow connected with Mordecai's back, creating a spiderweb of cracks across his crystalline form. The 5-star perfects physical force, Goku continued, his tone educational rather than taunting. Optimal application rather than brute strength. Mordecai roared, spinning to face him. You lecture me on Dragon Ball powers? I who have studied them for millennia. He thrust both hands forward, unleashing a beam of concentrated energy directly at Goku's chest, aiming for the 4-star ball. The 3-star activated instantly, Goku's body absorbing the attack completely. The 3-star converts external energy, Goku said, his body glowing with Mordecai's redirected power. Nothing wasted, nothing lost. With a gesture, he released the absorbed energy back at Mordecai, not as a beam but as a precise sphere that struck the crystal being's forehead symbol. The impact sent Mordecai crashing through several crystal formations. Around them, the immobilized Z fighters watched in awe. Is that, really Dad? Gohan whispered. Yes and no, Piccolo replied softly. He has achieved something unprecedented, perfect synchronization with all 7 Dragon Balls simultaneously. He's magnificent, Vegeta admitted grudgingly. The dragon and the Saiyan, perfectly balanced. Mordecai emerged from the rubble, his crystal body cracked in numerous places but rapidly regenerating. You think mastery of individual Dragon Ball powers impresses me? You haven't even glimpsed their true potential. He raised his arms toward the aligned moons overhead. I call upon the ancient pact. The crystalline were the first to bond with dragon essence, we are its rightful heirs. The alignment beam intensified, striking Mordecai directly. His body absorbed the energy, growing larger and more complex with each passing second. Crystal spires erupted from his back, forming wing-like structures that refracted the alignment energy. Now witness true dragon power. His voice boomed across the plateau as he completed his transformation, a towering crystalline pseudo-dragon 20 feet tall. Goku stood unflinching before the monstrosity. Impressive. But hollow. Hollow. Mordecai laughed, the sound painful to human ears. I have achieved what you merely imitate. The perfect fusion of crystalline form and dragon essence. Without permission, Goku replied simply. Without harmony. I need no permission to claim what evolution designed me to consume. Mordecai opened his maw, revealing an internal chamber glowing with accumulated energy. Now, vessel, you will join my collection. He unleashed a beam of concentrated alignment energy directly at Goku, power that would strip the Dragon Balls from his body along with his life force. The blast engulfed Goku completely, too powerful for even the 3-star to absorb. For a moment, it seemed Mordecai had succeeded. The beam continued uninterrupted, boring into the plateau's surface. Then, impossibly, the energy began to curve, not absorbing into Goku but bending around him, redirected by something more fundamental than Dragon Ball power. What is this? Mordecai ceased his attack, confused. As the energy dissipated, Goku stood untouched, his eyes closed in concentration. When they opened, all 7 stars were visible within his dragon-like irises. The 1-star grants perception beyond physical senses, Goku explained calmly. I see the pattern of your attack, and its flaw. Impossible. The extraction beam is perfected ritual magic. Perfected through force, not understanding. Goku raised his hand, and the 2-star pattern on his abdomen glowed. The 2-star governs more than speed, it manages the flow of time itself. To Mordecai's horror, the cracks in his crystalline form began spreading rather than healing, the 2-star's power accelerating his body's natural deterioration. No. I am immortal. The last crystalline cannot fall. Nothing is immortal, Goku replied. Everything has its season. The Dragon Balls understand this better than most. Desperate, Mordecai lunged forward, attempting to physically grasp Goku and initiate direct essence transfer. His crystal hands closed around Goku's shoulders, and immediately began to dissolve. What is happening to me? Mordecai stared in disbelief as his fingers crumbled into crystal dust. The 7-star, Goku explained. Transformation works both ways. You sought to transform me, instead, I transform you. The process accelerated, Mordecai's crystalline body breaking down molecule by molecule. He struggled against it, pouring alignment energy into maintaining his form, but the deterioration continued inexorably. You cannot do this, he shrieked. I am the rightful heir to dragon essence. I have sacrificed everything in pursuit of perfection. That was your mistake, Goku said, his voice softening with something like compassion. Dragon essence cannot be owned or consumed. It can only be shared. As Mordecai's form continued dissolving, something unexpected happened. Within his crystal chest, 7 dimly glowing spheres became visible, proto-dragon balls, absorbed centuries ago but never fully integrated. They're still alive, Goku realized, the 1-star's perception revealing the truth. After all this time, the original Dragon Balls of your world remain conscious within you. My power source, Mordecai gasped as his body continued disintegrating. Without them, I am nothing. They've been prisoners, not partners. Goku placed his scaled hand on what remained of Mordecai's chest. And now they choose freedom. With a final cry of defiance, Mordecai's crystalline form collapsed entirely. From the shimmering dust, 7 small, primitive-looking Dragon Balls rose, crude compared to Earth's, but undeniably alive with the same essence. Go, Goku whispered to them. Return to the cosmos. Find a world where you can thrive in partnership, not servitude. The Proto-Dragon Balls pulsed once in acknowledgement, then shot skyward, disappearing into the alignment beam connecting Namex moons to Earth. As they vanished, the crystal restraining Goku's friends dissolved. The alignment beam faded, the moons returning to their faint outlines in the daylight sky. Goku stood alone among the crystal dust that had once been Mordecai, his dragon form still active but gradually receding. The scales withdrew into his skin, the spines along his back shrinking until only the faint golden patterns remained around the 7 points where Dragon Balls resided within him. Dad! Gohan was the first to reach him. Are you okay? Goku nodded, his eyes returning to normal. Yeah. We did it. We? Krillin asked cautiously. The Dragon Balls and I. Goku placed a hand over the 4-star near his heart. We finally understood each other. Piccolo approached, studying him carefully. The dragon form, can you control it now? I think so, Goku replied. It's not about control, really. More like, cooperation. They lend me their power, I give them a safe home. And Mordecai? Vegeta kicked at the crystal dust. Permanently defeated? His physical form is gone, Goku confirmed. But more importantly, the Proto-Dragon Balls he'd consumed are free. They were the real victims in all this. As they spoke, Bulma's aircraft appeared overhead, landing nearby. She emerged with scanning equipment, immediately taking readings of Goku and their surroundings. The alignment energy has dissipated completely, she announced. And Goku, your readings are stable. The Dragon Balls have fully integrated with your biological systems. So what now? Yamcha asked. Can we remove them safely? Goku looked down at his body where the Dragon Balls pulsed gently beneath his skin, no longer painful or foreign. I don't think they want to leave, he said softly. And honestly, I'm not sure I want them to go either. Goku, Bulma approached cautiously. You realize what this means? You essentially have Shenron's power within you. You could potentially grant wishes directly. I know. His expression turned serious. Which means I have a responsibility to use this power wisely. Or not at all, Piccolo suggested. We'll figure it out, Goku said, looking around at his friends. Together. The way we always do. As they prepared to depart, none of them noticed a small crystal fragment pulsing faintly among the dust, the last remnant of Mordecai, already beginning to regenerate. Nor did they see the sleek aircraft hovering at the edge of visual range, where Lord Nexus observed everything through high-powered scanners. Most illuminating, he murmured, reviewing the battle footage. The vessel achieves dragon form, defeats Mordecai, and liberates Proto-Dragon Balls. This changes everything. He turned to his pilot. Return to base. We have much to prepare for the next phase. Next phase, sir. Nexus smiled coldly. Son Goku believes he's mastered the Dragon Balls. But his journey has only just begun. The end. Thank you for watching this video. Please be sure to subscribe to our channel and like this video.